Welcome back to Fairy's Cucina. Today I'm absolutely thrilled to share with you a wonderful treat, homemade almond bites. These little bites are a simple and rustic cookie, bursting with rich almond flavor, are gluten-free, and are perfect with your morning espresso or afternoon snack. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button for more recipes like this one. Before we dive into the baking fun, let's go over the ingredients that you're going to need. We'll need 2 cups of almond meal or almond flour. Now I make my own almond milk, so I have lots of this almond meal left over. 1 cup of gluten-free flour. Mix that in right now. A pinch of salt, which is already mixed in. A teaspoon and a half of baking powder. So teaspoon and a half. One large egg at room temperature. Now, for the eggs, for the wet ingredients, we're going to mix it separately. So I'll just move this over here. I'll grab my egg. Mix this here. Oh, got a little piece in there. 90 grams of sugar. Now, I'm going to be using coconut sugar, kind of mixed with some granulated maple sugar, but you can use regular sugar. So I'm going to be mixing that in there. I'll mix that up nicely. You want a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. However, as you may know already, I love vanilla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half a tablespoon. But the recipe is about half a teaspoon if you like it. And you want to put that in your wet ingredients, in your wet bowl. And then a teaspoon of lemon zest. So I have that right here, already granulated. Now you put that in the dry bowl. And now comes the fun. Now we got to use about 100 grams of butter. But we want to grate this butter. And we want to grate that in our dry bowl. So we grab our butter. And we're going to just... This has already been cut, so this is about 200 grams right here. So I'm just going to grate half of this, and I'm going to grate this right into our bowl. So now the nice thing is if you have already used the grater for your lemon zest, then as you're grating the butter, you're going to get some of the flavor from the lemon already on it. So that's a cool thing about that. So this is about 100 grams right here. This is about half of 200 grams. Okay. Now part of this is you want to kind of mix this. You don't want it to clump together, so you want to spread it out there. And you want to mix this in nicely. You might need to use your hands, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to just use our hands, break this apart so that it's not all clumped together. Now comes the time where we mix our wet ingredients. So we get our egg. Mix it up there a bit. And you want to kind of put it into the center here. Get all that out. Don't worry about dirtying your hands because your hands are going to get dirty even more now. So you want to kind of all mix that egg and the butter You see how it's clumpy now? It's sticking to your fingers. Now we used a cup of gluten-free flour. Now we're going to need more for dusting, okay? So because you want to really knead that in, knead the dough in. So you can grab your gluten-free flour. I use Namaste's Perfect One blend, but you can use any brand with this recipe. So you can see you can just knead that in. That was about a quarter cup in my hands. It was just a handful. And you'll see that as I'm kneading this, it's pretty soft still. You want to harden it up. So grab a little bit more. So you can see here that I've made a nice little ball. What we're going to do here is we're going to grab some saran wrap and we're going to put this in the fridge for about an hour. Okay, let it rest for an hour and then we will roll these out to make our almond bites. So now I'll put this in the fridge. While you're rolling the cookie dough out, you want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And then when our trays are ready, we'll put those in the oven. About an hour, we can take our dough out of the fridge. We can start rolling these little almond bites out. So what we'll do is we'll just start with just slicing them into pieces. Okay. We'll do 2 at a time here. In order to not let it dry out, you want to just keep it covered in the cling wrap. So we grab a little bit more of our gluten-free flour. Now you can make these with regular flour, it doesn't have to be gluten-free flour. And now we're just lightly dust it, and we want to roll these out into So as you can see, we have made 2 trays worth of these little almond bites. Depending on how big you roll these out or how small you do, you can get more or less. But these are quite a bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven. Our oven has already been preheated to 350 degrees. And we'll leave those in between 15 to 20 minutes. Now, it depends on your own taste. If you like them a little bit softer, then 20 minutes is perfect. If you like them a little bit crunchier, then you can leave them a little bit longer until they start browning a little bit more, and they'll give you a little bit more of a crunchy bite. So we'll go ahead and put these in our oven. Here we have it. Our homemade almond bites are ready. These are absolutely delicious. The almond flavor is so rich, complemented perfectly by a subtle hint of vanilla. For our Italian friends, these almond bites are a cross between an amaretto cookie and a Ciambelline cookie. They're tender and crumbly and perfect with espresso or tea, and I'm having mine with espresso. Thank you so much for joining me today on Fairy's Cucina. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic recipes of the homemade almond bites. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button for more recipes like this one. Until next time, this is Danny Fairy from Fairy's Cucina, cooking Dan's way.